Boom, so we're continuing our series on the worst YouTubers in existence, like the weirdos, which brings us to Onision, who, listen closely when I say this, is a criminal. Why is he a criminal, you ask? Well, let me explain. So for those of you that don't know, Onision was this huge YouTuber back in the day who had a primarily younger audience. That's important. Now, the content Onision made was like weird, edgy humor. But see, Onision had a problem. He didn't understand what I like to call the weirdo YouTuber principle. Yes, I just made that up. See, the closer you get to strange, like edgy type humor, chances are the younger your audience is gonna be. But when that audience starts getting older, the more they're gonna kind of get over you and be like, yo, this dude's just a weirdo. Now, let's get a little deeper into what I mean by weirdo content, because it's gonna set this story up perfectly. So back in the day, Onision used to say, hey, look, to all of my viewers that are girls, send me pictures of yourself and I'm gonna rate you on a scale of 1 to 10. He had a whole series on this where he would just go in on these girls, and they were younger. Now, if you're thinking, well, why would they send them the pictures in the first place? Then wisdom is chasing you, but you are faster. Because like I said, they were younger. And what do you do when you're younger? Things that are ill-advised. They were seeking validation from their favorite creator, but he would rip them apart. Now, this is the first step of when his audience started saying, okay, dude, whoa, you're taking this a little too far. And here's what's special about Onision. For the last YouTubers I was telling you about, usually they make an apology and they basically be begging for forgiveness. It could be a fake apology, but regardless, it's an apology. This guy would be like, yo, I'm not wrong. I'm not apologizing. You're the problem. And well, remember, he's a popular YouTuber, so his fans coming to his defense saying, yeah, you the problem. He not wrong. He not doing anything wrong. They want to send him the pictures. It's all good. Well, let's get to the next thing he starts doing. He starts making a series of this girl that has an eating disorder, just making fun of her. People are like, bro, now you, come on, bro. He comes out with the video saying, okay, that was a little much, my fault. He continues the series, just making fun of her eating disorder, just video after video after video. I told y'all this dude was a weirdo, right? People are like, but why though? Onision said, why? Just because. Now it eventually gets to a point where the scale starts tipping. You know that person that constantly will make fun of someone over and over again, and everyone at a certain point be like, all right, bro, you're kind of being weird. He finally got that sense and he said, all right, y'all, maybe I took things a little too far. I'll stop making videos about her because I'm making videos about someone else. Yeah, he starts making videos about his new relationship. All right, no big deal, right? It's relationship content where someone shows the ups and downs of a relationship. People give them a ton of views. And just like other relationships, Onision's relationship has its ups and then it has its downs. He's filming everything they're doing. Remember what we said in that other video? These weirdo YouTubers, a common trend they have is they will film everything no matter what for the sake of content. They don't understand the boundaries that you and I probably understand. So he says, look, me and homegirl are getting a divorce. People go, oh, that's so sad. He goes, yup, and I gotta pay her money. People go, what you mean? He like, yeah, me and that girl got a divorce and now they're asking me to pay her some money. People go, oh yeah, that's like alimony payments. After you get a divorce, you pay that. He goes, no, that's called slavery. Yeah, so Onision goes off on his ex, who was his ex-wife, saying the court's ordering him to give her monetary value because of their divorce is basically slavery. Now, here's the thing. There's a reason why these laws are set up in the first place, and Onision is a perfect example. See, his wife was a nurse and he was doing YouTube. He was doing very well on YouTube, so he tells her to quit her job. She could have been at this point that she's married to him at a certain place in her job. You know what I mean? Like she's starting out as a nurse. She's married to him for like a few years. At a certain point, she can be like in a higher position, but she quit to support him through YouTube. So they're saying at all that time, she lost a lot of money. So Onision, you got to pay her what's due. But again, his audience is mostly younger, so they're not understanding these concepts. They're just taking his word for it. She comes back to get her stuff. Onision filming the whole thing. She's taking stuff from my crib. She like, this is my stuff. He goes, she taking stuff from my crib. But this seemed to be the end of the drama with his first wife for now, because he needs to move on to more drama with his next relationship that again, he keeps making videos about. And this is when Onision starts showing his ass. One, that he's willing to film anything for content, and two, that he chases cupcakes. If you don't know what that means, then look in the comments. Now, how does he gain access to cupcakes? Well, remember I told you, his audience is primarily very young. So they hit him up. And while he's completely okay with his position of power over them, gets in a relationship. Now, one of these girls hits him up, says, I rock with your content and all that. He gets in a relationship with her, starts filming content. Now, it's all well and good until homegirl has a seizure. Remember I told you he starts showing his ass. He films the situation, saying, OMG, my GF forgot all about me. Well, that's because she had such a hard induced seizure that she had memory loss. Bro setting up the camera, going over and be like, yo, you good? She's just like shaking and all that. He posts the video thinking it's gonna do numbers. People in the comments are like, yo, why didn't you call the police? He's like, I did call the police after I finished filming. People are like, bro, you gotta call the police immediately. He said, word? He said, well, it don't matter anyway, because we're not in a relationship anymore. I'm moving on to my third relationship. And then people start getting even more annoyed at him. See, his audience is getting older. They're starting to realize, yo, okay, this dude is kind of weird. He going from girl to girl to girl, filming everything. Oh, and this next girl, she looked young as hell. Now, I lost track of how many relationships he had for content. So we're gonna skip over to Kai. See, Onision gets in a relationship with someone named Kai, who's about to turn into his accomplice. Now, Kai and Onision express that they're cool with inviting other people into their relationships, right? Now, by the way, when I say Kai and Onision are in a relationship, they're in a relationship for like a really long time. Like, Onision's viewers really know Kai. Kai is like in the gang. Kai is a huge part of Onision's content. Now here's where it starts to get wicked. Enter Sarah. Sarah, like usual, is a fan of Onision's content. She hits him up, says, yo, huge fan. Kai begins to talk to Sarah. Now, it's like Sarah's first year of high school. She expresses how she has a really tough home life to Kai. She confides in him. Sarah and Kai end up being really, really close. So close that one day, Sarah says, look, my home life is really, really bad now. Kai says, yo, come on over to the crib. Now, at this point, Kai lives with Onision. Onision is cool with it, so Sarah comes over to the crib. People start seeing her in videos, but people start saying, yo, she looks young. Now, at this point, she's in her third year of high school, so people start commenting, dude, Onision, you gotta say something about this. Onision's like 30. Kai is like 20, early 20s or something like that. Yeah, Onision met Kai when Kai was super young too. So Onision has to address this. It's getting too much at this point for his fans. So Onision rages out and subsequently begins to show his ass. He starts saying, bro, y'all are the weirdos, not me. He said, bro, Sarah, homegirl, she just stay here. We ain't do nothing. She just stay here. He says, and while I'm on the topic, y'all keep saying I chase cupcakes. And this is what he actually says next. He says, when's the last time y'all see me chase a cupcake? He says, yeah, they were technically cupcakes, but I'm 31 now. I'm a grown adult. Last time I did that, I was like 27. Stop playing. Sarah, she good. We looking out for her. Ain't that right, Kai? Kai said, hell yeah. Here's where it starts to get wickeder. Sarah comes out saying, I'm not really good. Now, this is years later. She 18 at this point. Remember that trend that happens. People get older and they start realizing, oh, these guys are weirdos. She spills it all. She says, yo, they on another level. Sarah comes out and says, yeah, Onision was telling the truth. We ain't do nothing. Nothing happened until I turned 18. She said like 2 days after she turned 18, both Onision and Kai, well, her, Onision, and Kai started doing stuff. In fact, Kai and her were pretty much in a relationship. She says, but then her and Kai broke up because she did stuff with Onision when Kai wasn't there. Kai found out, got heated, cut it off. She says Onision is extremely controlling and extremely weird. Onision says, every other person he was in a relationship with starts coming out line by line saying he was weird, he was weird, he was weird. Onision says, his audience says, canceled. Onision says, no, wait. Onision just goes with they're all crazy. But all the girls are coming out with proof text messages, I'm saying weird things, controlling things. At this point, it's getting hot. Social media platforms all over are going, this isn't good. I'll tell you why they're thinking that in a second. So Onision leaks one of these girls' numbers. He says, yo, one of these people is saying I'm a bad dude. I'm not. He leaks her number. Patreon says, great, ban him off the platform. Twitter bans him off the platform. No, we don't want nothing to do with this guy. Other social media platforms, keep him on. That's their mistake. Again, I'm gonna tell you why in a second. Now enter this guy named Chris Hansen. For those of you that don't know, way back in the day, there was a show called To Catch a Predator. Chris Hansen would basically invite cupcake chasers over, say, gotcha, the police would arrest him, and then so on and so forth. So Chris Hansen makes a YouTube show, basically trying to continue what he did in the past, catching cupcake chasers. And as we've established, Onision's a cupcake chaser. So Chris Hansen hits up all these girls. He invites them on his YouTube channel. They're saying their experiences and all that. Chris Hansen goes over to Onision's crib. Chris Hansen then says, can we talk? Onision says no. In fact, Onision then calls the police. He said, yo, there's somebody stalking me there outside my crib. The police said, who? He said, Chris Hansen. The police said, who? But see, Onision couldn't really do anything about this because Chris Hansen is just a guy, and it's perfectly legal to knock on someone's door and say, can I interview you? But this is actually part of the problem as well. Chris Hansen just being a guy, he's just that. He is a guy who interviews people. Even though he has all this fame surrounding him catching cupcake chasers, he actually doesn't really catch the cupcakes. His show kind of broadcasts the cupcake chasers on like a national platform, but the police are the ones that do the investigations and do all the catching. So Chris Hansen with just his YouTube show technically doesn't really have power, but him broadcasting these cupcake chasers on a national scale is a good thing. It's technically more legitimized in the public opinion. It's not just some random YouTuber doing it, it's Chris Hansen. So news outlets are gonna say, yo, Chris Hansen just caught Onision doing some wild stuff, being a cupcake chaser, and this is a great thing. But why I say, again, it's a not so great thing is because people actually think Chris Hansen can do something to these cupcake chasers, especially the girls who Onision was cupcake chasing. In fact, Chris Hansen tells one of these girls to send her laptop with evidence of Onision cupcake chasing to one of his associates named Vincent. She sends her laptop over. She never gets her laptop back. It turns out this dude Vincent is a con artist. Chris Hansen apparently gets conned too. He says, what? I didn't know he was gonna do all that. Apparently the dude Vincent claimed that he was gonna get the evidence to the FBI and all that. He never did it. So the girl says, give me my laptop back. Vincent says, oh, okay, here you go. But this made people realize, oh, Chris Hansen is just an interviewer. Regardless of that, the damage was done to Onision's reputation. Chris Hansen calls Onision a cupcake chaser. So YouTube demonetizes all of Onision's videos. They say, great, that is what we needed to get him out of here. But uh-oh, too late YouTube, because see, what happens next is a lawyer comes out and says, on behalf of some of these girls, we're suing Onision, Kai, and YouTube. Now, first of all, I say on the behalf of some of these girls because it gets a little confusing. There's multiple different cases, it gets a little confusing. So we're just gonna say some of these girls are suing Kai, Onision, and YouTube. Now, why they're suing YouTube is because the lawyer, how the lawyer puts it, is YouTube had a huge part in shutting this down. Remember everything I told you in this video. How does he get these cupcakes in the first place? His YouTube platform. So they're saying, look, YouTube could have spotted this a long time ago. Over the many years, people have been coming out saying, yo, he's chasing cupcakes. He's being weird. He's admitted it on his videos. Y'all seen him with his little apology saying, yo, when's the last time I did that? All that. YouTube ain't do nothing about it because they were making money. In fact, even them demonetizing Onision's videos, they're still making money. YouTube goes, oh snap. Patreon and Twitter say, that's why we banned them early, son. They can be found liable for fostering disordered environment. That's why YouTube does age restrictions and all that. They do not want the smoke. TikTok, Instagram, this is why your favorite creators can't say certain things. This is why in this video, I gotta censor a lot of the videos. Social media platforms rather just take the video down than the chances of a young person seeing it and the social media platforms getting sued. It's fair. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, it is a tough situation, right? Well, let's get back to Onision. Onision basically leaves YouTube since his channel is demonetized and he's continuously getting sued. To this day, in fact, he's still getting sued. Now, since basically everyone banned him from like all platforms, that boy broke. So broke, he couldn't pay his lawyer. His lawyer came out and said, yeah, I dropped Onision because that boy broke. Onision said, now come on, now you didn't have to call me broke. I'm just getting a new lawyer. Other lawyers said, you got any money? He said, They said, nah, we good. So now Onision is representing himself in court. Now, like I said in previous videos, remember there's two different types of court. There's civil cases and there's criminal cases. He's in for civil cases. He's getting sued. That means he can't go to jail, or he just might lose money. Criminal cases is when you go to jail. The police have to do an investigation and the state has to actually go against you. This isn't the case for Onision, because courts want to win cases, even though it may seem like there's all this evidence against Onision. It's a little bit tougher than it seems, because for the same reasons that EDP, the Cupcake Chaser, isn't in jail, these are YouTube videos. Like, everything is documented on YouTube. All he has to say is, yo, nah, they just YouTube videos, they just fake. The girls can show the text of him being a weirdo. He said, no, that's just a character I play. Now, from my knowledge, civil cases can't be used in criminal cases, but if he loses that civil case of him being a weirdo and him having to pay all these girls money for basically being in a relationship with them, when he's at an age where he knows better, they're at an age where they don't know better, and kind of being manipulative and basically scarring them. But again, that's if they win. Hopefully they do, but the case again is still ongoing and anything can happen. All that being said, there's like a million other things Onision has done, but this isn't that type of channel. This is more like an overview. Now, okay, we've covered David Dobrik, we've covered Johnny Somali, we've covered Jack Dorothy, we've covered EDP, we've covered Shane Dawson, and now Onision. We're gonna stop at this 6. Now, like I told y'all before, the plan is to rank which one of these YouTubers is the worst, the second worst, so on and so forth. Now, I've decided we're gonna do it together. What I'll do at some point in the near future is we'll do a live video, we'll rank them together, discuss it as a community, and see if we can come to some common consensus. That being said, see ya.